Hello, everyone. Sarah Richardson here. Cheerleader for the divine. Cheers to the new moon and some new. I love you guys. I can't get it right in here, man. I'm like cold, hot. You guys feeling this? Vicky, Maria, I love you girls. So guys, little mama is about to be 5 years old. I feel so like, yes. Yes. I'm doing it. I'm doing the whole mom thing. I never knew how hard all this was. I love you too. So I want to start this live off today with how thankful I really am for every one of you, every single person in my family. We had a big baby shower this weekend, and so all the family came in. You know, True picked the baby shower over a birthday party because she just loves babies. Yes, it's tomorrow. I can't wait. I can't wait to like wake up and surprise her. She's so funny. She's been telling me lately, you know, Mom, life is hard sometimes. And boy, is she right. I don't even know where she heard that. I'm so thankful for my friends. You know, guys, your friends will really show you the work that you've been doing on yourself. And so that's one thing that I've been seeing is that, you know, as my friends change, that means inside of me is changing. Nicole, I love your guts. I'm so thankful for Dr. Vazone. If it wasn't for Dr. Vazone, I would not be where I am right now and being able to change my mind and really like feel myself as a whole. You know, I've been getting this work for like 14 years. So thank you, Dr. V, for being amazing. You know, I am so thankful for being able to have this strength that it takes to be a strong mom. So if you guys don't know me, I'm a single mom, but instead of saying single mom, I say strong mom because I'm not like the victim here, right? I chose this. I chose this path. I chose this way I go. I chose not to do certain things to be able to do certain things this way, right? Am I right? I don't know. That's the thing. You never know if you're right. You just have to keep tuning into your heart, right? And so keep going into your heart, feeling into your heart. It is such a process. I'm so thankful for the courage that I've mustered up to be this person that I am in my community, with my baby, with my family, busting through programs, you know, and that's why I'm thankful for my family because I shared a video that one of my friends did, I think maybe yesterday, and he was talking about, hi Jeff, how are you, love? He was talking about, you know, doing shadow work and like the part that isn't like, peace, love, and butterflies, right? He was talking about the ugly part. He was talking about the part where you realize that you haven't been living your heart's desires because you've been trying to, you know, people please, or maybe you weren't sure how to express yourself, or, you know, and guys, you can get stuck in this place for a long time. And our ancestors stayed stuck in this place for their whole entire lives. And so, you know, thank you to my family because, you know, a part of all of this is like breaking old patterns, you know, breaking old patterns about the way the mom parents, breaking old patterns about the holidays that you celebrate or how you celebrate the holidays or the birthdays, breaking old patterns on how you eat or how you interact with one another. These are really big things that we're doing. And so, you know, my family, a lot of people lose their whole family in this process. And my family really does try to understand me. And so thank you. And I love you guys for that because, you know, it's not just me trying to like throw a bitch fit, right? This is me, you know, just really trying to dig into my authentic self and my true desires in my heart. And it's a lot different than the stuff I was raised with. And so thank you all for all your support, all your love. And yes, I do. I got a whole bunch of messages past couple of days about my interviews. I'm still rolling them, guys. Are a lot of work. I'm digging in deep. It's a lot of energy work when we do these things, right? So I ask a lot of really personal questions. I keep your name really private. I keep everything private. And then I'm going to figure out a way to put all this stuff together and bring it out, right? And really it's about like heart's desires and feelings and getting into your true self and, you know, just people from all over the place, people that I don't know, people that I do know. And so thank you all for, you know, saying I'll do it, sign me up, I'm here. I really do appreciate you guys so much. So guys, today is the third eye, right? So today there's a lot going on in the third eye. And, you know, this is something that I've been working on for like 14 years. So please, if you don't understand it, just relax, right? If you have any questions, just ask out. There's so many people. Hi, Amy. This is the eye C, right? Your third eye is the observer of all the other chakras in the system, right? And if one is off, all of them are off, everybody can be off, everybody can clear themselves, you're okay, right? This is the 852 hertz that you hear in the background. Can you guys hear it? So I work with Ian Morris at Listening to Smile, but you can look up these frequencies for free. I listen to these frequencies for free for, I don't know, like 10 years or more before I started to like pay money to, you know, work with the frequencies. But I put Ian's frequencies into all of my energy work, all of my coaching programs. I'm actually working with him right now to like put something together for me because I have a heart's desire that I'm not really sure how to talk about yet. So I'm kind of like on the low with my heart's desires. And so if you have a heart's desire and you're on the low about it, that's okay, right? As long as you are in that heart's desire, then that's okay. My best friend just popped on, right? I love her. Thank you for being my best friend because, you know, you don't really realize until you realize how important it is to have friends that you can talk about your heart's desires with, no matter how silly they seem, no matter how whatever they seem. And Ian, I just saw you on here. Message me back about that beat that I sent you with that music. I love your guts. Cheers. I couldn't make it to the Sonic meditation because it's True's birthday weekend. So I love you. I know it was super dope. I know people were like floating out of the joint. That's what I love about Listening to Smile. Listening to Smile is super dope. So for anybody that's on here right now, when I get done with my message, I'm going to do a reading. If anybody wants a reading, me and my baby are taking a little minute from each other. So we've been together for like 13 days straight. And I don't know if you guys know about like 2 women in a house, 13 days straight. Yeah, we were kind of like at each other's necks today. Anything she can do just to like be at my neck, she'll do it sometimes. I love her for that. So there's a lot of really great affirmations. There's a lot of really great affirmations that you can do, right? And one simple one is, I forgive myself, right? And that's a big thing that we're going to talk about in here today. So, you know, in me changing over these 14 years, you know, there were a lot of times where what I wanted to do went against what my dad or my mom had like thought in their minds was the best thing for me, right? Hi, love. Carmen. And so, you know, it wasn't even that my mom and my dad would be angry with me about making this change or doing this thing, right? It was like I needed to forgive myself for the feeling of, holy shit, I let them down. You know what I mean? Or like when I moved away, I needed to forgive myself that I was the big sister who kind of like dipped out on the whole entire family. I needed to forgive myself whenever me and my friends changed and we were vibing different and I went this way and they went that way. Because sometimes I'd be like, oh, that's such a bad friend to go this way, not go that way. I needed to forgive myself, you know, after I started going to Dr. V and experienced that healing in my body. I needed to forgive myself for holding on to that shit for so long, because then you realize like, whoa, that was me holding on to that. That wasn't anything else. One of the really big things I had to forgive myself for, and this has been in this last 5 years of my life, is, you know, being the type of mother that I am. Because, you know, here, me and my child's father, we were really close and we were really good friends. And becoming a mom really changed me. And I didn't know that that was going to happen. You know, you hear people say it, but you don't really realize it until you're in it, right? And so I used to always be a people pleaser. And all of a sudden, being a mom, I'm like, fuck that. I am doing this, right? And so a big part of my journey in this past 5 years is just being able to forgive myself all the time for not just always being able to go with the flow with things. You know, I'm a Libra, and so we like to be the peacekeepers. And a lot of times in this strong mom life, I have not been the peacekeeper. I have been the tiger, like, fuck with me if you wish, right? I needed you tonight. Thank you. I love you, sis. Another thing is I am wise and connected, right? And so I know a lot of people out here are not feeling very wise, right? In the choices that they have made. There are no mistakes, guys. And so everybody has made mistakes. If you're hanging around people that keep bringing up your mistakes, get around some new people. Create a new circle, right? I'm connected. Everyone is connected. Everyone is connected. And so, you know, it's funny because when you make bad choices, you're like, oh, I kind of hope I'm not connected. But then, like, you get to a place where, like, am I connected? I want to be connected, right? Another good affirmation. I'm open to inspiration and bliss, right? So, you know, divine inspiration comes down in through here, right? And so a lot of us aren't open to divine inspiration. So like we have these old patterns and these old ways, right? And then the new is like beating us in our forehead and we're not open to it. So just open up. By evoking that in your life, you'll open that up for yourself. Bliss, you know, bliss, joy, happiness, peace, bliss. That's what your soul wants. Your soul craves joy, happiness, peace, and bliss. So if you are living in a state of chaos, confusion, conflict, all of those things, you know, when things are stirring up, that's to push your soul towards joy, happiness, and peace. And, you know, the pathway to joy, happiness, and peace doesn't always really seem so great at first. But once you bust through some of those things, like my friend's video that I shared the other day, right? Once you come to the edge of like, I'm tired of living like this and I'm just gonna say it, right? Then all of a sudden it like opens your life up to this joy, happiness, and peace that you thought maybe wasn't for you, but it is for you. It's just like you are the one keeping yourself stuck in these patterns, thinking that you have to, thinking that you're helping somebody by being in that vibration. Everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. And so the only person in the world that you can help is you. The only person in the world I can help is me. If I don't get my shit together, I have no business coming up here talking to any of you about anything because we teach each other vibrationally. Like, really? It doesn't even matter what my words are on these videos. What really matters on these videos is what my internal vibration is. And let me tell you, ever since I've been taking this CMOS, my internal vibration is like off the charts for real. I never knew in my life, you know, James told me that this CMOS is going to have me like with so much energy. Before I did this video, I had to do some Tai Chi, I had to move some energy, I had to do some stuff. CMOS is dope. So if you have somebody around you that makes it, or you can learn how to make it or whatever, I just put a little bit in my smoothie every day and it is phenomenal. Take care of your body. Take care of your temple. Worry about your vibration. You know, people say, how do I know what my vibration is? How do you feel? Do you feel frustrated? Do you feel tight? Or do you feel like, nah, whatever. I missed that. I'm late for that. I'm good. Maybe I wasn't supposed to be there. You know what I mean? Did you ever be like late for work, couldn't find your keys or something like that? And then you go down the road and you see you just missed an accident. Like, that's the kind of stuff I mean. What is your relationship with your feelings? Because your relationship with your feelings in the sacral chakra has a lot to do with your relationship with your intuition. So if you are running off some crazy feelings, then your intuition might be a little bit off. You might be, you know, in your intuition from like a guarded standpoint. So one of the good things to do if you're not sure about your intuition and things like that is to sit with your feelings. meditate with your feelings. You know, I know a lot of people don't like to do this. I know I didn't even like to do this or know how or think I was doing it right or something like that, right? But you have to sit with your feelings, guys, because feelings come up so we can clear them out, so we can sit with them and clear them out. And that's to help us. It's not to attack us. So like the feelings, the people that come in, that get you in your feelings, all that stuff, that does not come up to hurt you. You know, I just went through a big thing last night with my feelings and even today. And it's okay. And like I could go through those feelings and I could work on my vibration and I could come out here and deliver you guys a message. It's not an attack. You know, this person that I was talking to about these feelings and all these feelings, they're not doing that on purpose to me, to hurt me. They're not doing that on purpose to hurt me. They came into my life to get me into my feelings, because one of the things I really wasn't doing was I wasn't getting into my feelings. I was like kind of the type like, look, I'm good. I'm just going to keep working and I'm good. Like, don't worry about me. I'm fine. If you want to move on, that's fine. If you want to do this, I'm fine. Right. You know, a lot of times our heart's desires can be very unclear. So I'm a vibrational alignment coach. I love my work, right? I do energy work. I love my work. A lot of the things that I talk about in my work is heart's desires, right? And when you hear that word, you're like, I'm not really sure what that is. You know, your heart's desires is the real truth for you. Everyone's is so different, right? So some people, you know, want to have kids and a big family and do that spiel. And then some people want to work and be super successful in their lives and have that spiel. Now, you can have those two people and they could be operating and thinking that's their heart's desires, to come to a place and be like, oh shit, I'd rather do a career. Oh shit, I'd rather do a family. Are any of those people wrong? No. You know, we're all getting to know our heart's desires. It takes courage and guts and big self-work, soul work to figure out your heart's desires. It's not just this thing where it's like, you know, you send God an email and you're like, hey, yo, Pops, what's my heart's desires? And then, you know, boop, it responds back like, you are this. I wish, right? No, you have to go inside yourself. You have to do self-work. A lot of people are stuck in their minds. So this intuition thing that's happening today, if you don't have your feelings kind of cleared out, or like working on your feelings, or like have a good best friend that you can talk to about your feelings, or a family or whatever, you can be really stuck in your mind, and you can really be thinking that the dreams that you have are very impractical. But if you are resisting patterns, so like the energy work that I do show, like everybody holds patterns, and a lot of times it's vibrational, right? And so, you know, we learn these patterns vibrationally. And so, you know, you'll hold a pattern like up in here, and then it'll be down in the right hip, and then it'll be like down in the ankle. All right. And your pattern is unique to you. Now, can I tell a lot about your pattern by the way you walk or what hurts you or things like that? Yes. But I still don't even know like the depth of that pattern for you. I can just tell you like a little bit of it. But resisting the patterns is what causes the repeat, right? And so it's like this pattern's coming up, right? And you're like, oh, fuck. I am just going to ignore this. Like, I don't have time for this. I'm just going to not do this. You know what I mean? That is what is going to cause that repeat of that pattern. You have to go sit with your pattern. You have to see like, okay, where do I keep doing this in my life? Where, you know, how do I keep recreating this same pattern in my life, whether it's at work, with your friends, with your sex life, with your love life, you know, whatever. You know, a lot of people out here are, if your heart is guarded, you are staying safe. You're playing safe. And that gets you the same, guys. So if you're out here playing safe, You're probably going to have the same, and that's okay until you start to become aware of yourself and your patterns. That's why I say worry about yourself, love yourself, be aware of yourself. You know, if you're looking at anybody else and what anybody else is doing, bring that focus back to self. What does that mean for me? What does that bring up for me? What does that do for me? How does that make me feel that they're doing that, right? Because that has nothing to do with you. But if it makes you feel something, that's like an indicator inside of you. You got to reveal the stuff to heal it, you know, and that's what's so cool about these retrogrades and these moon times, right? Because they help you to reveal things that maybe you were just like staying there, right? Maybe we were just staying there doing that thing, but we need to bring light onto the situation, right? No matter how dark your darkness is, everybody has it. You know, it's not this thing that you should be ashamed about. You know, you can just forgive yourself about it, but you have to feel it first. Everything helps us. Everything helps us. Retrograde helps us. So, you know, retrograde for me is like big on like my electronics in my car, right? And I used to get super pissed, but now I'm just like, you know what? Maybe I'm not supposed to answer that email, or maybe I'm not supposed to get those messages, or maybe I'm not supposed to reply back if my phone keeps shutting off, right? And you know, retrograde is really big for like bringing you back around to an old pattern, to revisit an old pattern. I know a lot of you have seen this happen in your lives right now, that old patterns are resurfacing, and that's what retrograde will do. The moon helps us to illuminate. You know, right now is the new moon in Pisces. My baby's a Pisces. I didn't know much about Pisces until my baby was teaching me about Pisces. They're very emotional little creatures, right? She's in her feelings. Like, she'll see a mom yell at her kid somewhere at the mall, and, you know, she'll just look at me and she'll have this look on her face, and then these little tears will pop out of her eyes, and she's like, Mom, that mom needs to talk to her baby. And I'm like, I know. But then she'll be the first one to get mad at me and be stomping around everything and kicking up the steps or something, you know? And I'm like, all right, girl, like, I honor your feelings. And then sometimes I have to be like, yo, girl, you got to chill out, right? So the retrograde, the new moon, the feelings, all this time is so important, right? Because if you don't have your feelings right, your feelings are controlling you. Your feelings are controlling you by trying to keep you safe from what you've been through. A lot of us, everyone has been through hell. Every one of us carries all these old fears and traumas, right? You hold your life in your hands. So it's up to you to fix these things. Like, yeah, you have tons of people like me and a bunch of people out here that are really wanting to help people, right? But it's up to you. It's up to you to reach out. It's up to you to be vulnerable. It's up to you to be open about the things in your life and your feelings and your needs and your values and how, you know, that's happening or not happening in your life. Guys, we're all intelligent. You know what intelligence is? Does anybody know what intelligence is? It's the ability to acquire knowledge, right? So we all have the ability to acquire knowledge, and we all have knowledge that we want to know with our hearts, right? And that's one of the big things that I've learned with these videos. You know, a lot of people tried to get me off into what they were learning about, and you know, because I would have this brain that's like this little sponge and wants to learn, sometimes I would get off into what they were learning, and maybe a little too long, whatever, let it go, right? But intelligence is the ability to acquire knowledge, right? And so if you want to start eating better, start looking up stuff about how to eat better, how to alkalize your body, how to get more water, what minerals the body requires, how do they be absorbed, right? If you want to start, I don't know, doing some different work, research that, look into that, do that, right? Live that, speak that, evoke that in your life. We all have integrity, right? And that comes at levels too, just like the intelligence. So we all have the ability to be honest. We all have strong morals that we either don't talk about or we do talk about. We're all whole. We're all whole. We all have the integrity in ourselves to feel this whole that I feel, right? It just takes work, self-work, soul work. And we all do this at our own pace. And so, maybe you might be doing really good at it. You might be flying high and you might be wanting to help everybody that's around you. Guys, you have to love them wherever they are, because everyone does this at their own pace. And it's like what you resist persists, right? And so, if you're like pushing and bumping up against somebody to change or something like that, that's not your job to do that. Encourage them to do what they need to do. Like, yeah, you can say like, hey, I'm not listening to the same story 11 times over and over and over again, right? That's your choice. But you can't push them to learn something. You can't push them to live in their, their values or their morals. Like, that's up to them to do that. You got to worry about yourself, guys. I always share this video of this little girl and she's strapping herself into the car seat. Her dad's like, can I help you? And she's like, worry about yourself. And I'm like, I fucking love this little girl. Like, I love her. Every time I see it come up, I share it, because that is so important that you just worry about yourself. If you can't give love to somebody, then get the fuck out of the way. This moon is having us cut through some really serious old thinking patterns. So, when people come to me and they tell me things, it's them that's doing it, right? Second time I've heard, let people be where they're at. See, you have to. You just have to. And that was one of the hardest things for me. And that was one of the places I had to forgive myself. I got this energy work done and I was like flying. And now all of a sudden I was like opening up to my heart's desires and I was following all this weird shit. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys gotta go. He's so great. He's so great. And people are like, I'm not sure about that. And I would like lose friends over like, if they had disease in their body or something was hurting and they wouldn't try this thing. And I just had to really, really learn that it's on their time. When they want it, they know where I'm at. I talk about it enough, right? So what is old thinking? Old thinking is the false ideas that are holding us back, right? And so, that's why I love Always Think Up, because Always Think Up was like, when my mind would start to wander, I started to learn about the way I felt, right? And so if I started to feel bad, I started to think of things that I love. And it took some training. It took some serious training to do this work, right? But you can do it, because if I can do it, you can do it. I used to be, a terrible thinker. Think the worst, and when it comes, you're ready. But your false ideas are holding you back from your full potential of who you are. And so if you're living from your feelings and the fears and the, things that are passed down, then you're not living up to your full potential, because, you have all these fears. You have to clear those out. You have to sit with them. You have to take time with them. The false ideas, they don't match your heart's desires, right? And so it's like you have this like war going on inside of you, right? And it's funny because some of the things that you guys share on Facebook, I can tell like who is in this place by like, who focuses on the wars, who focuses on the fights and the chaos and the conflict and all of that stuff, because everything outside of us is a direct reflection to what is going on inside of us. And I feel bad because in studying like, disease and stuff like that, a lot of these things with like, mental problems and mental disabilities and all that head stuff, that's a lot of old energy that's been passed down and passed down and passed down and passed down and passed down. And not too many people see the body like me. Now, there are a lot more people that do now, and I'm thankful, right? But these false ideas are things we hold to keep safe, to be in a safe place, right? And it's funny because it's like an uncomfortably safe. Like you already know what it's hitting for. You already know what to expect. Like you see what everybody did and had and got with that, right? And it's like you have this like different feeling inside of you, but you're scared to jump out of the box. You're scared to, you know, like for people to look at you like you're different, right? And just know that this is a place where I cheer that on. So, you know, maybe you can't talk to everybody right away about these things that are going on, but I know out here that there are a lot of people that you can find that you can talk to. And sometimes just by talking this thing to a friend, you know, a stranger, that, you know, by talking over here, that loosens it up on this side. You know, I used to be the type of person to think, if me and you have a problem, I have to go to you, right? It ain't nobody's business. Where now I learn, like, I don't have to like talk about the person to another person, right? I can just talk about the energy or the essence of the energy, and I can get that out and like really evoke what I want and put my heart's desires on that thing. And then without even ever having to talk to this other person over here, it's like it kind of loosens up. And it's like, whoa, this is how energy, frequency, vibration is. Like, we don't have to take on so much of the responsibility in ourselves to like change these things. Like the energy does it, right? And so like if you keep like focusing, like did you ever have that person you just really wanted to talk to about something? Hi, love. And you're like trying to talk and like no response. Like dead dial tone at the other end, right? And then you're like super fucking pissed, right? And now you're like in your feelings, like, man, my mom used to ignore me when I was a kid, and like that doesn't even have anything to do with that person at all. But now you're in your feelings and you better watch out, right? And then you go through all this stuff and now you're tired and you still never even got your point across. Get a good friend, talk to your friend, loosen up that energy over here and watch this work over here. And you'll be surprised sometimes. It doesn't always work the way you planned it. Like, there's a divine plan for everything out here. I have seen so many people experience miracles in their lives. So nobody in the world can get on here and tell me that miracles are not real. I've seen it too many times. Nobody can change my mind about it, right? And I'm thankful. Every time I see a miracle, every time I hear a miracle, every time somebody tells me about a miracle, I am like, yes, in the name of love. I knew that shit was real, right? Where am I at? Guys, you got to study yourself. You got to study yourself. You got to study your patterns. You got to examine the fuck out of yourself. You know, in order for you to come in and figure yourself out and your feelings out and your roots and your core beliefs and, you know, your sex space and your heart space and what you're talking out your throat and what you're seeing in your mind and how you feel connected up in here, that takes some huge examination. That's why I love being a vibrational alignment coach, because without them even knowing it, like I fling them inside of their cells, right? And it's funny, you know, we'll have some healing crises come up and I'm like, you're good. That's in you. That was in me. That was in her. That was in him. And so I have my group and they can go there and they can talk about these things that happen, and it's a safe space. Everyone's doing the work. Different things came up for different people in that space. You know, and it's funny because if I would have tried to think with my mind, my coaching or my energy work or all this stuff, I would have never planned it like this. We can't think so much in our minds, right? So yeah, I have always think up, you know, switch to the loving thought, all this stuff. But like, I'm kind of flying by like from my heart. I like hold the essence of what I see for my work, and I just keep trying different things, and it's like, oh, that worked, oh, that didn't work, and it's okay, and neither one of them are a mistake, right? Study yourself. And another thing is preserve your energy, right? And so if I used to be an overachiever. I used to be overworker. I used to just do, go. And like, one of the conversations, I've been dreaming a lot lately, right? I don't know if it's Pisces, or I don't know if it's because I've been chilling. I used to work so hard that I would like pass out to like wake back up, and it was crazy, right? And now it's like I've been learning how to relax, learn how to sit, learn how to chill. And my dreams have been for real lately, right? So it's like, it doesn't really seem like I'm getting anything back from this whole relax thing. But when you are evaluating yourself and when you're examining yourself, you're like, hold on a minute. My dreams have been like teaching me things, right? It's like when I turn off that brain, like I learned something. Tune into your heart, please. Tune into your heart. Put your hands on your heart. Open your chest up. I tell a lot of people in my energy work, like, you can tell when someone's guarded in their chest a lot because, their posture will actually be like a shield, right? So they're like shielded forward, like neck down, right? They're energetically, they don't even realize they're doing this. And so I tell a lot of people, like, lift up their chin, open up their chest, roll their shoulders back, stretch that all, get the spine, wiggle the spine around, wiggle the hips around. Your sacrum is directly connected to your cervical vertebrae, right? And so you got to move that stuff all around. So, people will say, how do you know? Okay, you have to feel. So when you feel, do you feel guarded? Do you feel tight? Do you feel stiff? Do you feel pain? Or do you feel like flow? Do you feel flexible? Do you feel, what are you feeling inside of you? That's how you know. And so you need to ask yourself, what am I putting so much energy forth that's not serving me? What am I taking time for that's not serving me? And it's okay, right? So if you've been plugging away at, I don't know, buying real estate, right? And you've been buying all this real estate and buying it up and plucking it up and getting all the good deals and all this stuff. But now you got like all this work, nobody to help you, whatever. Maybe stop doing that for a second. Look into yourself. Ask yourself, what am I doing? What am I focusing my time on that is just really not serving me? And you'll be surprised at what comes up in here to tell you, like, it's this, right? I've told you guys so many times for so long, I was not having any fun. I started studying disease. I started studying the human body, and I was not having any fun. And so when I was tapping in and saying, what am I doing that's not serving me? It's like, you're taking everything way too serious. You need to chill the fuck out, tell jokes, get around people that are funny. It's simple shit. The energy is all working for you. God, angels, whatever you believe in, right? Universe, creator, divine, whatever you believe in. And so when you ask, what am I doing that's not serving me, right? Say it's like this major thing in your life and you're like, okay, I don't know how to fix that. I asked this question. This is really major. I don't know how to fix that. Ask, how do I remove this? How do I stop doing this? How do I get this out of my life, right? And then you'll be really surprised at the things that come up for you to help you to do that. A lot of times, removing things, releasing things, that can feel really, really chaotic. And it can feel wrong. When you're removing certain people or habits out of your life, that can feel wrong. I have a best friend, she used to exercise so much, right? And so I used to tell her all the time, like, you gotta chill a little bit. Like, it's okay, like, every once in a while to, like, eat a snack or something like that, right? And, like, from her point of view, like, where she was, she's like, no, like, that's not right to what I'm trying to do. And I'm like, look, like, you work out, like, 98, like, she was on, like, a 98 too. I'm like, 80-20 is all right, girl. And once she started to do that, at first it would feel chaotic. Like, she would eat a French fry and be mad at herself, right? Or, she'd skip leg day at the gym and go walk with her friends somewhere, right? It felt wrong to her. But as she started to do it and see, like, okay, this isn't really making that big of a difference in my life. I mean, we fought for a lot of years over her if she was gonna eat fruit or take fruit powder, right? And I'm like, would you just fucking eat fruit? Like, she's like, oh no, there's too much sugar in fruit. I'm like, yo, that shit grows from the ground. would you please eat the damn fruit, right? And so she just came last night and we ate some fruit. And I was so proud of her because she used to never eat fruit because the sugar content was too high. She would eat this fucking fruit powder. To me it was like, them fake sweeteners or whatever. I mean, I don't know. I have really been learning how to trust my intuition. And so even when I'm sitting there and I'm talking with someone, when something comes up in my mind, no matter how crazy it might seem, I say it because I don't know. You never know. They might need it. They might not really like you for it. It doesn't really matter to me. Guys, it takes so much courage to sit with yourself. True integrity requires fearlessness. How you get to fearlessness is by sitting with yourself. You have to sit with yourself. You have to figure out yourself. You have to examine yourself. Sit still. Sit quiet. If hurt or fear or, all the anxiety, right, is coming up, you got to sit with yourself. Turn on one of these vibrations. It makes it easier. When I first had a hard time sitting with myself, I would turn on the vibrations and do the dishes because I couldn't just sit there. I used to be the type of person that was like, well, if you ain't doing shit, you ain't shit, right? I'm getting better at that. I'm like mastering the art of chill, right? You guys are going to see me next year. I'm going to be so chill. You're not even going to notice me. I don't know. That might not be right. But, getting into your integrity, getting into your values, getting into what's most important to you, that takes work, right? So a lot of us are thinking that our integrity is what was most important to our parents or, the things that we set up for us in our past. But a lot of times, what your true heart's desires and what you set up, it's not the same. And that's what the conflict is. And it's like the conflict is coming up and you're feeling it because it's like, let's shake this guy or this girl somewhere else, right? Overcoming fear takes risks. Like, nobody overcame their fear by like sitting there and then like it showed up different. You don't just like sit in your house and like fear comes in different. You have to really sit with it. You have to really feel it. You have to really, take risks whenever you're trying to do this. And so, I have fears about me, right? Something real big that I'm getting ready to do is like a really big fear. But instead of like worrying about like, what if 101 things go wrong? I get in my fear and I'm like, okay, like if I can come out and really do this, like I get excited like a little kid, I'm like, but I'm still nervous. Like I'm still kind of like ignoring it. Like everything's setting up for me. And it's like here. And I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm ready yet. And that's okay too. And that's why I love my friend because, my best friend called me and she's like, yo, I had this dream and you were doing this and it was so dope. And I'm like, and it's like such a cool conversation, but it's hitting down on my fears. And so I'm like, so even when somebody will tell you like a compliment or like encourage you to jump out of your fears, if you're not ready yet, sometimes that can feel like, don't say that yet. It's okay, guys, to be afraid to face the unknown, the darkness, right? Unconditional love and living from our heart's desires is the unknown. This is what they didn't do, okay? People didn't used to live from unconditional love. People didn't used to live in their heart's desires. They did what everybody else thought that they were supposed to do, what the world expected of them. Like, what do they say? Oh, Sarah, you're 36. You should be married. I'm like, if you want to be married, go get married. Sometimes those things would overpower me. And I would sit there and think to myself, like, what the fuck am I doing wrong if I don't got this right? It could be the littlest, dumbest shit like that. Guys, we cannot think it. We must feel it in our hearts. And so I love you, Hollis. I went through a lot of things with just the simplest thing as the name of Always Think Up, right? So Always Think Up came to me a long, long time ago. It was going to be a book. And then a lot of people were saying like, oh no, it's not about thinking, it's about feeling. Oh, it's not about thinking, it's about feeling. And I'm like, yeah, I totally resonate with this. And I'm like, maybe I should change the name of my whole thing. And then I'm like, no. Just leave that shit alone. Always Think Up means something to me. I understand that I have to teach people how to feel, but Always Think Up is choosing the better feeling thought. That's what that means. We need to express our true selves as much as possible. So if you're going to express yourself in a journal, if you're going to express yourself with strangers, if you're going to express yourself with your family, if you're going to express yourself in a joke, if you're going to sing to express yourself, you need to express yourself, your true self, as much as you possibly can. There's a lot of people out here that just say things like, oh, well, that must have not been meant to be. Oh, well, that must have not been for me. Oh, well, that's not your true self. That's going back down to a low vibration because it's comfortable there. What brings you joy, happiness, and peace? That's your true self. That's your true heart's desires. That's your soul trying to get your attention. There are so many miracles in the The is meditation to me. There's no way. I mean, people can give you like guided meditations. They can walk through meditations. They could teach you all kind of stuff, right? But meditation is the unknown. Like, if you have never meditated before, you don't know what's going to happen in there. And a lot of times you can think like, oh, I'm going to go in there and get bit by a shark. There are no sharks in your meditation. Oh, I'm going to go in there and burn in hell. There's no flames in your meditation unless you're burning up. But then you can make it how you want it. So you can put flames in there, or sharks in there, if that's your spirit animal, or if that burns up the bad energy, right? There are so many miracles right past what scares the shit out of you. So these fears, right? They're here for a reason. Because right past that fear, right past what scares the shit out of you is your miracle, is your blessing, right? Being intimate came up today. It's been coming up for a while now with this moon, actually. And it can be scary. And it's funny because, I'm getting better at it on these live videos. Like I used to be very like scientific. Like if it's not scientific, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about feelings. I don't want to talk about this or that or the other. And because I wasn't good at it, my intimacy was kind of like a bull in a china shop, right? It didn't come out like smooth and graceful. Like when you think about intimacy, it was like blah, this shit, right? And like I have even, hired intimacy coaches. I've read books about intimacy. I've been trying to get more intimate with my friends, right? And so what is intimacy? Intimacy is letting people see the hidden parts of you. The hidden parts of you. The parts that you don't tell anyone. The fears that you have. The all kind of stuff. Anything that maybe doesn't feel right? And so thank you to all my friends because, I've been having the most intimate conversations with people and I love this shit, right? Because as you be intimate with me, then it makes it easier for me to be intimate with you and with other people. And that's how we do this. That's how we help one another raise. Being intimate is voicing your needs with no expectations, right? So just because you voice your needs doesn't mean that someone has to care about them. Now, as you voice your needs, you'll meet people that care about them, right? So when I first started in this journey voicing my needs, not too many people that I was around really cared about them, right? And so, those people had to change and a lot of shifts had to go on in that place. But now I'm surrounded by some really cool people that like, when I call my mom or when I call my friend and I voice my needs, they're like, I got you. And, that's intimacy. I'm late, but I'll go back and watch. I love you, girl. Who are you? Who are you? So many people are out here trying to figure out, well, who are they and what are their credentials and what do they have going on? Who are you? Who are you on the inside? what is hidden in you? What don't you let people see about you? Because normally, I'm telling you, the hidden parts of you are like the most sexy. The hidden parts of you are like the part that like people are just like waiting for you to come out and see this. What are you hoping for in your life? You know, and that's a lot of times the part that nobody, you know, tells anybody. You know, I used to always say like, oh, I'm good on love. I don't want to do that. But guys, let me tell you, one of the most intimate parts about me is that I can't wait to have my best friend, my lover, my soulmate, you know, whatever, right? That's what I hope for in my life. But just because I want that doesn't mean that every man that comes around like, oh, hey, babe, you're pretty. Oh, I really like what you talk about or whatever. That doesn't make them be that partner. You know, that takes time to build that. Or it could be really fast as long as you feel it. Playing safe is old school. You know, this playing safe from a guarded up heart, it's really old school. We're getting out of that. And so, you know, a lot of people who have been playing it safe at work, playing it safe in relationships, playing it safe in their family, those are the things that are changing, and those are the things that feel very uncomfortable. You do not need to know exactly what you're going for, right? Like always think of like my coaching. I didn't know exactly what it was. And it's funny because I started my coaching when I lost my baby. I never thought that in my life. I never thought like, oh, hey, you know, yeah, I'm going to wait until I lose my baby. And then 4 days later, this is going to fire me up to do my work. I couldn't have thought that. You know, I sat with myself. I sat with my feelings. And I've still been processing it since then, right? But that's where I came up with it. You know, pain led me to my passion. And it helped me. And it helped me to heal from those things. And every day it's helped me to heal since. And every single vibrational alignment student that I have helps me in that place. And so thank you all. Heart's desires have an essence. Follow your truth and it shows up. Yeah, and even if you don't know, Hollis, you know, that's what's so cool about it, is that like a lot of us do not know our truth in our heart. I mean, we might know like a little bit about it, right? And we might be like practicing it over here or practicing it over there. We're not really sure. And that's okay, guys. So you gotta feel in, because you feel the desire. You don't make the plan for the heart's desire. You feel the essence. And so you're a vibrational magnet, right? And so as you feel that essence, you attract that to you. So it's like work, but it's not the kind of work that you're thinking. It's like the work is getting your vibration lined up to bring that into you. And then it's crazy. And like everyone that does my coaching is like, holy shit, this is like magic. It's not. It's natural law. Prosperity, abundance, and love is yours. And so if you're not feeling that, you need to figure out your vibration. You need to study you. This was a big one for me. And you know, it's funny when I do these messages because the universe shows out. Do you feel like your feelings are a burden to others? Do you feel like expressing your truth will be burdening other people? That was really big for me. You know, to say when I needed help, to say when I just needed love, or just to have a talk, or, you know, something was on my mind. I used to hold this stuff in, and now, you know, talking about it as much as I do, I'm like, shit, man, no wonder my body hurt so bad back then, because I held this all in. I never said anything. I never wanted to bother anyone with my feelings. I never wanted to bother anyone with my needs, or, you know, what I was going through. So we really gotta feel our desires and speak them to others, or speak them, you know, if you're writing them in a journal, speak it out. You know, that's why I love to hear people that are doing music. And like, you can feel when they're lined up with their heart's desires in their music. You can just feel it. It just feels different. Set new goals, make new decisions based on the now. And so like maybe for 10 years you've been trying something and it hasn't been working out. You know, take an evaluation, look at your life, and set new stuff based on your now. Right now is a really good time to make more supportive choices for yourself. You have to be more supportive for yourself. You have to make supportive choices for yourself. You have to pick friends that are more supportive for yourself. You know, a lot of people aren't really even aware of the burdens that they carry that are other people's. You know, a lot of people are like, well, I have to do this for them. And I'm guilty, guys. You know, I carry a lot of people's burdens. And that's one thing I'm really working on. And that's why it's funny when I do these messages, because I'm like, okay, I hear you calling me out. I got it. So it's not just you that I give these messages to. Believe me, I have to feel them all before I bring them out to you. So, you know, the burdens you carry for others, that could be partners, work, friends, family. That shit goes deep. Maybe you are carrying a lot of burdens alone and you need to share them. That's that strong mom shit. Feeling burdened. Overly, you know, people are feeling burdened with things. Overly committed. Maybe they feel like they're the only one in the commitment. And then that will take you to like a defensive place, right? Like, I'm the only one that cares about this, right? It's okay. Just start replanning how you want to do it. Take some time to yourself. If I can give anyone any advice today, it'd be take time to yourself. Make time for yourself. You know, I make time for myself. You know, when somebody has true, I make time for myself. Very rarely do I like go out. It's more like, okay, now I got my time to do my inner work. Family is rooted in me being the helper always. Yeah, Hollis. Yeah, that's who I was too. And you know, it's funny because it's like this vibration that you just carry from being a young person. That's why, you know, when I started this video, I gave so much thanks to my family, because in changing from being the helper to like needing help sometimes, they've been pretty cool with it. You know, it's not always received so good when you're changing it. Have you felt that, Hollis? So it's okay, guys, to be rethinking things in your life and reevaluating things in your life. And, you know, if you felt like you had it all together and now you're like, you know what? I got to reevaluate all this stuff. That's what these moons are for, and these, you know, Pisces and whatever they're flipping through and whatever. That's what all that's for. You don't even need to know what's going on. It's going on for you, right? So the solar plexus came up today whenever I was in there with spirit. That's my favorite spot, the 528. That was not always my favorite spot. I had to get emergency hernia surgery because I was not strong in that place, right? That's where your power is. And you are responsible for your power and how you use it and how you know, hold on to it and all of those things, right? So people will say, well, how do you know if you're off in your solar plexus? First of all, turn on the 528, and if it feels like, that's a sign. You got to breathe that out, right? And then second is, do you feel like flow in your life, or does it feel tight and like rigid? That's how you know. The solar plexus will cause all kind of stomach stuff. And so, hi, Katrina. That's why I was like, oh shit, I hear you, spirit. Because a lot of people have been messaging me about stomach stuff, lower chakra stuff, feeling that kind of stuff, right? And so, you know, you want to know in your solar plexus, your I can, that you can love. You can be loved. You can be loved, right? A lot of people are feeling like they really can't be loved, or that they don't deserve love from that space. And it's like, you can, you should be. And so if you're not feeling that, you need to just go in and learn about your energy body. You know, if your solar plexus is feeling like uplifting, enjoy that. Love it. A lot of people don't even, you know, like to enjoy that. Enjoy that. So I have to like make people enjoy that. If it feels painful, send it love. You are the healer. You do it by your thoughts. you know, we can't be tucking and hiding our fears and our guilt and our shame. Hello, beautiful. We have to sit with it. We have to feel it. That was why I had to get emergency hernia surgery, because I was tucking. I didn't want to let it out. I didn't want to get intimate with people. I didn't want to tell people where I needed help and where I needed love and stuff like that, right? And it almost killed me. And it can do that to you too. And that's why I give these messages. And that's why I be so direct about what I'm saying. And believe me, guys, I have other places where I tiptoe around the damn place and I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I love you, Katrina. It's okay to be incomplete. You know, I live like that every day. I'm not exactly where I want to be. You know, I'm better than I was before, though. Always think up. That's what I do, right? You know, we're magnetizing the support we need by the vibration that we vibrate. And so if the support you need is off, that's in your internal vibration. As you change your internal vibration, then the support that you need is going to get on. The conflict that you see externally is conflict inside of you. Every single time, every single time, every single time, every single time. The chaos helps to rearrange. You know, as a young girl, I always had a really chaotic life. And I never understood it. I always just wanted peace, 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 peace. Oh, please give me peace, please. I just want peace, 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 peace. But guys, I never knew that all of that was inside of me. It was just me. And that, you know, here I am, this like young girl, like, how is that inside of you? Well, because you carry it down through lineages, right? Some of the stuff about me, my mom didn't understand, because some of my stuff inside of me came from my dad and his family and that lineage, right? So of course she didn't understand. She didn't know. So as you clear your chakras, as you clear this chaos, then you learn to see different. You learn to see different perspectives. You learn to see that it was really just all you and nobody to blame. Don't be so quick to fight, guys. That was one big lesson I had to learn. You know, if one person came at me, I had my dukes up. I was like, okay, like, what are we doing? Are you trying to fight me right now? Because I grew up in a very chaotic life. And so I was always like ready to just, let's do it. Like, what are we doing? Are we fighting? And I don't even mean like physical. I just mean like in my energy, it was like ready. Like I was so defensive. I was so on guard. And so people say, okay, well, what do you do when you're not fighting it? You just be quiet and you love on it. And say, all this chaos around me, let me just send it love. If you see chaos over there, send it love. If the chaos comes in here, send it love, you know. And everyone's like, oh, that's like way easier said than done. Oh, I know. I know. I've had much chaos come up into my life, especially, you know, on this mom co-parenting experience. And, you know, sometimes I don't always get it right. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck you in the name of love. And then sometimes I'm like, that wasn't right. I got to come back around. And, you know, you can seem super crazy when you're doing this. I got to come back around and I got to put love on it. You know, there's no right or wrong way. Sometimes, you know, in thinking that you might get hurt or that somebody might hurt your heart, you're like, oh, I never wanted this anyways. I did this. I was just talking about it last night. But then you got to come back around and put love on it, because only love is real and everything else is just a fear. You know, right now is a time that we want to understand and we want to be understood. And so some of the people that we're fucking with, we can't understand or we can't be understood. And so that's just telling you, like, all right, like, open up to new people. Be open to new things, new people. Look inside of you and see what are your values. What is important to you? You know, for me, for a really long time, peace was very, 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 very important to me. And, you know, that's why I love it. And that's why I call myself the best deliberate creator alive, because that is my life now. And it wasn't that way. And I created that by my internal vibration. What is your sense of self? How do you feel about yourself? You don't have to fight. You have to flow. Be about it. Be about flowing. What are your things that are negotiable? What are your things that are non-negotiable? Figure that out. That helps, right? Stormy emotions are just trying to get your attention. So, when stormy emotions are coming up and you're feeling like, what the fuck? It's just trying to get your attention. Feel them. Don't blame other people. There's a divine purpose in all of the chaos. All of it. And it's funny because I never realized that my chaotic life would lead to me being able to deal with chaos. And a lot of times it was like I used to choose chaos because I was so used to it. And now it's like I'm kind of like the chaos blaster, right? Like I'm like the peace blaster in the chaos. If things fell apart, give thanks. I've had a lot of things fall apart in my life in these last 5 years, just give thanks for everything that happened and everything. The more thankful you are, the more, you get into the lesson and the core of the lesson. But you have to really feel it. It's not like, oh, that fell apart, thank you. No, it's like you really have to go inside and be like, fuck, that fell apart. Shit, my heart hurts, my stomach hurts. I don't know how I'm going to piece it together. I don't know where this is going to leave me. I don't know where I'm going to end up. I'm so thankful for this uncomfortable feeling, right? You have to really feel it to be given a genuine thanks to it. Not just like, oh, thanks that all that shit fell apart. That wasn't meant for me. Bye. That's why you got to watch these words, right? It's so much easier said than done, guys. It's soul work. Whatever you're going through, you have to love you. Wherever you're at in your life, you have to love you. Whatever you got going on, you have to love you. It's up to you to love you. It's not up to anybody else to love you. As you love you, then your reflections will love you too. That's how this works. No matter how bad, forgive you. Be gentle with yourself. Let folks off the hook. What is beautiful to you? What does that mean to you? What is beautiful to you? Everybody has a different version of beautiful. What are your values? What is important to you? What can you accept? What can you not accept? Tune into your heart for mental clarity. These energy, everyone's like, oh, well, explain the chakras to me like in an easy way. And I'm like, yeah, right. Yeah, right, right? So when people tell me that, I tell them start at the root or go to the 528. And they're like, what? Always think up is choosing loving ideas, And so if you're in a place of chaos and you're feeling that shit in your body or whatever, think about something that you love. If you think about it, I think it's like 17 seconds, that will change the chemicals in your brain. It'll change you from chaos to bliss. Like, it's up to you to think these thoughts, before, when I wake up in the morning, if I jump out of bed before I do my good loving thoughts, my whole shit is crazy. I woke up the other day and jumped out of bed and I was like totally off track all day. But I love my best friend because I call her and say like, I don't even know what I've been doing for the past 2 hours. I didn't do my normal thing. I wasn't on my normal routine. And I just been out here like, what the fuck, right? And when you genuinely love yourself, my friend's like, I love you. Like, you make my day, right? What makes your soul smile? Joy, happiness, and peace. What makes your soul smile? Are you having that? I thought someone was knocking at my door. I don't normally get company that I don't know about. I don't have company. Everyone is working on themselves, guys. And so I want to tell you guys this, and I mean it with all my heart. I have loved so many people that couldn't love me back. I still love them. Different people in my family, different people, my friends, different men, different work, right? I've loved a lot of people who didn't love me back, and that's okay. Can you forgive yourself for loving people who didn't love you back? That's humongous. A lot of people are like, I was wasting my time. Give and receive is a natural law. So if you guys don't know about them, look into the natural laws. They've helped me really understand energy work, really understand the chakra system, really understand all my work. I've been working on it. Me too. I love you. We all have. We all have. And Caitlin, it's not even something to be sad about. It's all right. They can't love you back if they don't love themselves, and that's it. I've been working this give and receive. So I have been an undergiver, right? Because my heart was blocked off and I was like, I'm not giving them love. I'm not loving on that person and wasting my time and getting my heart hurt, right? And then I was an overgiver. I was like, oh, let me just give love, 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 love. And then I was like drained and pooped on the floor, right? And then I learned that I was a good giver, but I was not a receiver. And so people would be smothering me in love, and I'd be like, oh, thanks. I'm out of here. Bye. Right? And it's all just an awareness. It's becoming aware of these things inside you. That's why I say study yourself. Be aware of yourself. You can't just do. You will get tired. You need to sit your butt down if you're a doer, right? It's not on your time, guys. All of this is on divine time, so chill out. Have fun. You know what happens whenever love is reciprocated? It just grows. It just grows and grows. I've had love that hasn't been reciprocated, and it didn't grow. It just kind of fizzled out. Maybe, I got angry or they got angry and it just fizzled, and no one's wrong or right in that, right? But whenever love is reciprocated, and how I know this really is from my best friend, right? In the time that we've known each other, our love has grown so much. When we get off the phone, we're like, I love your guts. And then my friends will be like, oh, who are you talking to? Your man? I'm like, oh no, that's my best friend. I went through that too. Yeah. A lot of people do. And that's why Spirit has this shit come out of my mouth. So receiving is accepting the blessings that are they're for you. There's all these blessings that are flying around outside of you. But if you can't receive, then you don't have an open heart to receive them. Open your heart helps you to allow love to come in. I've been practicing this, guys. I'm telling you. And it's funny, I've been practicing for 5 years, and then I didn't even realize until we got home from all our retreats, and my girl Kelly was like, yo, what is going on? You do not receive love. And I'm like, I don't know. I just didn't want you guys to hype me up and get lost. I didn't want to burden anybody with oh, Sarah's super dope, right? I just wanted to stay focused on their healing, right? And she's like, no, let love in. That's why I love my connections that I have. They call me out on my shit. You need that sometimes. A lot of things may be very different, but way better than you expected. Everything is an exchange. Energy, frequency, vibration. Everything is an exchange. Money is an exchange. Love is an exchange. Sex is an exchange. Words are an exchange. Thoughts are an exchange. You get what you give, guys. Become aware. You get what you give. Become aware. How I knew that I was an undergiver was because of what I was getting. How I knew that I was an overgiver was because I was getting tired. How I knew that I wasn't receiving was because Kelly called me out on my shit, right? Good will come back to you. If you're out here, I've given a lot to people that I knew. My favorite people to give to are people that I know that can't give it back. That was my safe space. But it was super cool because I would give to people that I knew that couldn't give back to me, and then I would receive from other places. And if I could receive, because a lot of times I probably could, but I didn't. And so now that I'm more aware of that, now it's coming back different. So I love giving whenever I know for sure that I can't get back from that specific person. It leaves the world open to a lot more miracles. Watch miracles in other places. Love is never wasted. I really love you guys. I really, 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 really do. Does anybody want a reading? Holla. I'm done with that. Got my amethyst. Anybody want a reading? Let me know, let me know, let me know. Because if not, I'm going to go over and hang out with my sisters. I'm telling you guys, I'm on that sea moss. Feeling myself. So how about, this might be super bougie, but lately I only been adding women on my Facebook. Thank you for everyone who shared my video. I always want a reading. Okay, Stace. Oh, them feelings. Making peace with today will improve my future. It may sound odd, but the fastest way to get a new improved situation is to make peace with your current situation. By making lists of the most positive aspects you can find about your current situation, you then release your resistance to the improvements that are waiting for you. But if you rail against the injustices of your current situation, you hold yourself in vibrational alignment with what you do not want. You cannot then move in the direction of improvement. It defies law. Natural law. And it's funny because this is about the third eye. That's exactly what I was talking about, Stacy. You know, this stuff, that's what I love. You know, when people try to think about what God is, I'm just like, I don't know, bro. You can't. Trust, Stacy. The moon's in here. Evoking is in here. Trust in the masculine side of you. The masculine side of you is the lower chakras, right-hand side. A lot of times, like if you're a woman that doesn't trust a man, then you don't trust the masculine side of you. I know. I went through it too. I had a lot of hard times with that. I don't know. That might be it, Steve. That's it. I love you, girl. It's all right. Get in your feelings. Ooh, I really dropped you guys. I dropped the hell out of that phone today. Let me see. My sister got me this new little jigger. So look. Can you see it? It holds my phone up. So when I move in the comments, I get real nervous. Oop. I have you guys on a yoga block right now. It's a dangerous setup that I have right here. I ain't worried about it. I got rid of my little thing for Valentine's Day because I gave it to one of my little minis for her Valentine's Day Starbucks cup. All right, who would I do first? Stacy, Caitlin. I don't know, Caitlin, how you're feeling about your voice. I'm feeling it, though. Feeling negative emotions means I'm launching request. So just by sitting in your negative emotions, that's why I love Always Think Up, because it would take me out of that negative emotion. As more people observe hardship and strike a tense resistance pose, and therefore disallow their well-being, others use them as their reason to do the same. And in a very short time, a very negative pattern of resistance can sweep through their population. The good news in this scenario is that in every moment that every person is feeling a negative emotion about the economic state, vibrational requests for more abundance are launched. And those requests are heard clearly and responded to immediately by source. And so that's why I don't worry when everybody's worried about, you know, vaccinations and the war and the president and all the shit that I don't get into. Because I'm like, okay, thank you for launching the good. I don't feed into that. I try not to. I don't know. I shared the thing for the bully and the little boy, and then they said he played me. Send love, Caitlin. You know, any kind of negative thing that's going out in the world that's bothering you, send love. Send love. It works. Your love works. So you don't have to be an energy worker, right? But about the little boy, you know, it's okay. I deleted the post because I wasn't sure about all of it. But, you know, there are really kids getting bullied. And so send love. Send love when you don't like something. You know, send love if there are people out here, you know, messing around with your feelings. Show appreciation. You know, when things are going wrong, find what to show appreciation for. That's always think up. Stay in your heart. Stay looking for your heart's desires. Don't worry about anything else. Worry about yourself. If you're not too busy, Donna. My manifestations are the indicators of my beliefs. So whatever you're creating in your life, that's what you're believing. It's always true that whatever you are living always matches your chronic vibrational patterns or beliefs. And it does not matter if you have an excellent excuse for your negative thoughts and your negative emotions. They'll still equal your point of attraction. What is manifesting on every subject in your life is an indicator of the beliefs that you hold in your chronic patterns of thought. Woo, Donna. That was like my whole message round up into one. Give me some angel messages for Donna. If you got them. Compassion. You know, and to me, you know, that's like compassion for others, compassion for self. But you see those blue wings? That's expressing it out loud. What time is it? 8 o'clock. Archangel Michael. That's what that last part reminded me of. That's funny. You know, Archangel Michael helps us to clear out anything that's not serving us. I was talking about, you know, clearing out the things that weren't serving us today. And so that's a really big thing for everybody. That's what I love about these messages. They're for more than just one person. Amanda. Why do I want the relationship I want? Now, this might be, you know, relationship. This might be work, friendship, whatever. Think about what you want in a relationship and why you want it. Look for those around you who are experiencing good relationships and feel appreciation for them. Make lists of the positive aspects of those good feeling relationships that you've spent time with. In fact, one of the fastest ways to make your way to a wonderful relationship is to find any subject that consistently feels good, even if it has nothing to do with relationships at all, and focus on that. The more I love myself, the better my relationships get all the way around. With my family, with my friends, you know, with people like opening up. Ask for a sign. And that's the intuition. The moon. You know, new moon is a good time. You know, I love new moons to do my new moon bath. And I'm doing all kind of fun stuff for this new moon. And then plus getting ready for my baby's birthday. That's you, Amanda. Give it to me straight up, please. All right, Hollis. I put my PayPal and my Cash App up there if anybody wants to throw some love on me. Relationships I don't want, clarify those I do want. See, nothing's ever wasted. Whenever you know what you do not want, you always know more clearly what you do want. So any poignant moment of awareness of another person's undesirable situation gives you undivided attention to the idea of improvement that has hatched from your interaction, observation. As you learn to do that, not only will you be of increasing value to others, but you will see how your relationship with others add immeasurably to your own becoming. Why are we talking about this? And guys, these don't have to be like sexual relationships. These can be friends. Give me some angel cards. I think this is the one. Share your wisdom, Hollis. Maybe write a book. Communicate it. Share it with the world. That's what I'm getting. Caitlin, what a ride. Thank you, sis. You're welcome. I would love a card, Amy. Beneficial beliefs feel better when I think them. Yeah, let me see that third eye popping. There are things in your environment that you believe that match what you want. And there are all kinds of things in your environment that you believe that defy what you want. How would you ever sort them out? How do you know the active beliefs within you that serve you well and the active beliefs within you that don't serve you well? How do you know how the beneficial beliefs from the detrimental ones? The beneficial beliefs feel better when you think them. The detrimental ones feel worse when you think them. What was I saying? If it's good for you, it feels good. You know, I know if I can drink coffee with cream, if I think about it, right? If I think about it and it feels good, I can go for it. If I think about it and it makes my stomach not feel good, I'm like, can I have a black coffee? If I think about going somewhere, but you know, that takes a lot of work too, because if you didn't work on your feelings, then you don't know. Make a wish. Get grounded and make a wish. Amy. Guys, this is, you know, you're either operating from fear or love. So if you're operating from fear, so it's hard to trust anything. You got to get in there and clear it out. Call me. We'll do some vibrational alignment coaching. I don't know if there's another one. I think this one. Send love. Send love to anything that doesn't feel good. Wrap it up in love. Send love to the things in your life that feel heavy. Wrap it up in love. Thank you. You're welcome, Donna. I swear God always sends me to you when I'm in need. You're so important to me. I love you, girl. Thank you, Spot On. I love you, Amanda. Aw, snap. All right, guys. I love you. Thank you, Amy. I love you guys so much. Somebody sent me a PayPal. I love you for that. You know, guys, I just come on here and give love. I never really do expect anything. But when you do, you know, I really love that. And I really appreciate that. Even if it's just the smallest thing. You know, that's the give and receive. And that's what I'm learning. I'm learning to receive. So thank you very much. It doesn't tell me who. It just kind of pops on the notification that someone did. Guys, listen, if you want a reading with me, I do a bunch of different stuff. And they are fun. I never really advertise my readings, but they're pretty dope. You know, I love to tune into spirit. I love to give messages from spirit. I give them pretty raw and my truth. I love you guys because we're all connected. Get in touch with your feelings, to get in tune with your intuition. Just be patient. Just, you know, love yourself. Forgive yourself. It's okay. Not everyone's going to vibe with you. That's okay. Just start getting into your heart's desires and learning about that. I love you because we're all connected. One love.